It's your girl, Mrs. Tony Two Times, and I'm back with another episode of Hood Tales. In this video, let's take it to Las Vegas, Nevada, to tell the story of what happens when friendship, disrespect, and a heated feud turns dangerous. But before we get into this video, don't forget to subscribe, like, and share. Turn your notifications on so you don't miss any future uploads. Also, this video is sponsored by me, Mrs. Tony Two Times, and my YouTube channel. Make sure you check it out. Look out for the link to it in the comments. Stay tuned until the end to hear the full story. All right, let's go ahead and get into it. In North Las Vegas, a young father's promising future was abruptly cut short after a confrontation at his home spiraled out of control. It's a story that began with loyalty, friendship, and love, only to unravel into betrayal, anger, and irreversible consequences. This is the story of 21-year-old Jimmy Lee Smith III, a young man who had so much to live for, and the tragic chain of events that would forever change multiple lives. To those who knew Jimmy, he was the heartbeat of his family, a loving son, brother, boyfriend, and father of two. According to his loved ones, Jimmy was quiet and reserved at times, but he carried a humor and light that made people feel at ease. He had a deep passion for music, spending long nights in the studio working to build a future for his children. His family said he always put them first, showing up to every event, every birthday, every moment that mattered. Jimmy was building his life around love and responsibility, doing everything he could to create a better life for his family. But behind the smiles, tension had been brewing, and it started with someone close to his girlfriend. Jimmy lived with his girlfriend and two young children, one of which was a newborn baby. The two had been together for over 2 years and shared a young family that they were still learning to navigate. But there was someone who didn't quite fit into Jimmy's world: his girlfriend's longtime friend, 21-year-old Kiara Dreyer. Kiara and Jimmy's girlfriend had been close for years, but Jimmy never liked her. He reportedly felt Kiara had too much influence, and he didn't approve of the way she inserted herself into their relationship. According to reports, the two had clashed before. Jimmy didn't want her around, and Kiara didn't appreciate being told who she could or couldn't see. It was a conflict that might have stayed just words until the fall of 2023. On October 2nd, 2023, Jimmy had gone through his girlfriend's phone. He found messages between her and Kiara, which made him frustrated. He felt disrespected. A text came through his girlfriend's phone. It was Kiara, and she texted her friend saying she needed to come get her shoes. Her friend replied, "Yeah, come get them." And there was another message that hinted Jimmy might have been the one behind the phone. Something along the lines of, "You're gonna get slapped." That message set a chain of reactions no one could take back. Feeling challenged, Kiara decided to go to the house that night, but she didn't go alone. Later that day, Kiara arrived at Jimmy's home with 3 other people, including 2 men and another woman. The woman who drove with them later told police that Kiara told her to pay attention and keep watch while she went inside. Kiara entered the house unannounced, walked upstairs and into the couple's bedroom. She grabbed her shoes from the closet and confronted Jimmy, reportedly saying, "You said you're gonna slap me. I want to see it. You suck. Come outside." Jimmy followed her out of the bedroom and down the stairs. That's when he saw 2 men. He asked, "Why are y'all here? Y'all don't live here." Moments later, the sounds of gunfire echoed through the house. From the upstairs window, Jimmy's girlfriend watched as Kiara and the others ran to their car and drove away. It was around 4 p.m. when North Las Vegas police were called to the couple's home on Hoke Edward Court near Lone Mountain Road and Commerce Street. Neighbors reported hearing gunfire. Someone screamed that her boyfriend was gone, and a car sped away from the scene. When officers arrived, they found chaos inside the home. Cartridge casings scattered near the front door, red stains spattered along the stairs, and a young man unresponsive in an upstairs bedroom. That man was Jimmy Lee Smith III. He was pronounced gone at the scene. Within 24 hours, authorities caught up with Kiara Dreyer. She was arrested by the Las Vegas Criminal Apprehension Team, a task force led by the FBI. When questioned, Kiara admitted she and Jimmy's girlfriend were close, but she described Jimmy as controlling, someone who tried to dictate who his girlfriend could spend time with. She claimed she never planned for things to escalate, saying she only went to get her shoes and that the confrontation took her by surprise. According to Kiara, she was at their house the night before cooking them all dinner. She was under the impression that they were all on good terms. She told officers she ran when she heard the shots and didn't know anyone would get hurt. But in Nevada, the law doesn't just hold the person who pulls the trigger responsible. Anyone who aids, plans, or participates in a fatal act can face the same charges. Over the next few months, 2 more suspects were arrested. 20-year-old Tavion Tinsley was taken into custody in November 2023, and then 19-year-old Ava Rayborn was later identified and arrested in January 2024. All 3 faced open hit charges along with charges related to challenging or participating in a fight with a fatal weapon. In December 2023, a grand jury indicted all 3 suspects. Ava eventually pleaded guilty in May 2025 and was sentenced later that summer. The details of her sentence haven't been made public. Kiara and Tavion also entered guilty pleas in June 2025 and faced sentencing shortly after. Their outcomes have also not been publicly released. Meanwhile, the 4th unidentified male, said to have been present during the incident, has never been publicly named or charged. May Jimmy continue to rest in peace. My belated condolences to his family and loved ones. My well wishes are with them. Jimmy's family describes their loss as devastating and senseless. In other words, Jimmy was a loving brother, son, boyfriend, and an outstanding father to 2. They said he lit up every room he walked in, and that his drive for success in music and family was unmatched. They recalled how he supported everyone around him, always showing up, always uplifting others. This case is a painful reminder of how anger, pride, and poor decisions can destroy multiple lives in seconds. A disagreement that started with text messages turned into a house full of heartbreak. What should have been a conversation between 2 young people instead became an irreversible tragedy involving 3 arrests, 3 convictions, and a lifetime of grief for everyone connected. Jimmy's story is a lesson in the weight of choices, how words can escalate, how friends can become enemies, and how fast loyalty can be tested when emotions take over. As for Kiara, Tavion, and Ava, each of them was young, with their own lives ahead of them. But by getting involved in something that never should have gone beyond words, they now carry the consequences of a single reckless night. Jimmy Lee Smith III will be remembered not for how his life ended, but for how he lived, loving his family, pursuing his passion, and trying to build a future. And as his family continues to seek peace, may his story serve as a reminder. One moment of anger can change everything forever. Fam, I'm going to leave the rest up to you. What are your thoughts on this tragic situation? Let's keep the conversation going. Let me know in the comments below. Alright fam, that's it for this episode of Hood Tales. Thank you so much for watching. If this story moved you, consider liking and sharing. Subscribe for more stories like this and for the stories behind the headlines, because behind them all are lives forever changed. This is your girl, Mrs. Tony 2 Times. Until next time.